So this, in our third video, we're looking at meters. Meters gives you an overall representation of what's happening to the channel strips, the inputs, the outputs, and it gives you an analyzer as well. So in this first tab, we're looking at the input channels. So this is the input signal that's coming in, and it is not affected by any of the changes that I make to the faders. However, you see we've got this light here, which is the main left and right out, which is affected by them. So if I knock those off, you can see that that changes. The bar below shows how our gates are working for all of our input channels, and then we have our gain reduction for the compressor. So you can see on channel 1 I've got a gate on, and then channel 2 I've got a compressor on, so you can see that those two are working there. All these are color coded as the channel strips are color coded, so if you have your own color scheme, which I don't tend to have at the moment, but that will allow you to easily identify bits and pieces. The next tab is our mix buses. So I'm sending audio to buses 1 to 8, assuming that they're monitor sends, for example, and then I'm sending to 13 and 14, which is the effects sends. I'm also sending these buses to the matrix mixes. So this is all input levels. So you can see if I turn down some of the buses, you'll see that some of the matrix mixes change. As I put those back up, they change. But as I drop these mix buses down, you'll see that these don't change because they're showing the input volume. We also have the main bus on the side. We have the sub and the left and right. So if there's nothing coming into the sub, but you can see that I'm changing the fader there. And then also changing left right. This is showing the output volume or the output signal that you're generating. We also have our compressors indicators there, which are showing us what we want to see. The next section is showing us our auxiliary sends, auxiliary returns. Nothing's going in and out of those at the moment. And then we have our effects returns. So because we're sending channel 13 and 14, we're receiving left-right effects for 1, which will be channel 13, and then channel 14 would be effects return 2. This section here is showing us all of our in and out levels. So we have our main inputs, like we have on the first tab. Then we have our outputs along the bottom, which is our second tab. Then we have our aux sends and returns, which is our third tab. Then we have our monitors, our main left and right, as we've seen before. And then we've also got the AES and the ultranet outputs. I'll cover these later. Then we have an analyzer. So you can choose what you're looking at by scrolling through here, so you can see any individual channel mix bus that you would like to see, including the effects returns. So all the way through, auxiliaries, effects returns, buses, matrix mixes, main left and right, and then the submix. So you can change the colour however you would like to do that. But start from this side, you can set it definitely what you're seeing to be pre-EQ, and then you can add a peak hold, so you see the little notches that have appeared. That is showing you the peaks sort of over 5 seconds. turn those down. We can change the whole thing to a spectrum analyzer. And then we can have the decay. So we can either have it as peak, or we can have it as RMS. We have an auto gain function, so we can set it to be 0 gain. And you can come through and you can see that you can make it basically red. But if you set it to auto gain, it'll adjust itself depending on the top things that are happening on that channel. Then we have the auto mix section. This is not something I'm going to get into because it's not complicated, but it will require another video. The utility function on meters does not work anywhere. I'll show you. So that is your metering section. Just information of what's happening across the board.